All right, let's talk about something every product manager or future PM is curious about: money. Seriously, PM compensation can feel like this big, complicated black box, right? Well, today we're going to pry that box wide open. We're breaking down exactly what you can expect to earn in 2025.
This is it. This is the big question. Whether you're about to negotiate a new offer or just trying to map out your 5-year plan, this number is probably on your mind. So you know what? Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it.
And there you have it. According to Product School, the average annual base salary for a product manager in the US is a pretty solid $126,000. But, and this is a huge but, that base salary, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's really just the start of the conversation.
So on our journey today, we're going to look at what that number is really made of. We'll explore how your pay explodes as you climb the career ladder. We're also going to see how much your physical location, or lack thereof, matters. Then we'll dive into that classic dilemma, the high-risk startup versus stable big tech. And finally, we'll talk about the stuff that PMs sometimes value even more than a fat paycheck.
Okay, so that $126,000 figure is a great headline, but it doesn't really tell you the whole story. To truly get a handle on what you can earn, we've got to look past the base salary and talk about something called total compensation.
Right. Total comp, or TC as you'll hear it called, is the number that really matters. It's the whole shebang. It takes your salary, and then it adds in any cash bonuses you might get, and, this is the big one, it includes the value of any stock or equity. And believe me, that's where the numbers can start to get, well, really interesting. Now, here's where it gets fun. Your compensation is not designed to stay flat. Not at all. It's meant to grow, and grow dramatically as you get more experience and take on bigger challenges. We're talking about a path that can take you from your very first PM role all the way up to the C-suite. And check this out. Thanks to some amazing data from Lenny's newsletter, we can actually see what that journey looks like. The median total comp for an associate PM kicks off around $139,000. But just look at these jumps. A senior PM is already up at $425,000. And if you make it all the way to chief product officer, we're talking over $1.4 million. The potential for growth here is just massive. But hold on, here's a curveball. That first step into management, it might not actually be a step up in pay. In fact, a brand new PM manager often makes significantly less in total comp than a senior individual contributor. So choosing that manager track isn't some automatic payday, at least not right away. It's definitely a long-term play. So we've covered your title, but what about your location? Turns out where you're working from is a huge variable in your pay. And that doesn't just mean which city you're in, but whether you're even in an office at all. Now, you might think that companies pay a premium for people to come into the office, but the data tells a totally different story. A study from Ringover actually found that, on average, remote workers in the US earn over $8,500 more each year than people doing similar jobs in an office. That's almost a 10% bump for working from home. And of course, if you are working from a specific city, geography still plays a huge role. Data from Built-In confirms that the big tech hubs are still where the big salaries are. San Francisco is leading the pack with an average senior PM salary of almost $193,000. New York and Seattle aren't far behind. Just being in the right city can add tens of thousands to your base pay. Okay, the last major piece of the puzzle is the kind of company you work for. And this is really the classic career crossroads for any PM, isn't it? Do you roll the dice on a startup, or do you go for the stability of big tech? The way PM Repo breaks it down, the choice is pretty fundamental. A startup offer is a bet on the future. You're accepting a lower base salary in exchange for equity that could be worth a fortune. A big tech offer, on the other hand, is all about stability for today. You get a higher salary and stock that's predictable and easy to value. So it really boils down to one question. Are you playing for potential or for predictability? So what's that startup package usually look like? Well, first off, the base salaries are lower. They have to be to conserve cash. The real carrot is the equity, a big grant of stock options that, if the company takes off, could make you rich. It's high risk, so you probably won't see big cash bonuses. But the upside is you can often negotiate for a bigger piece of that potential pie. The big tech package, by contrast, is built for predictability. You get a higher base salary right out of the gate, benchmarked to be competitive. Your equity comes in the form of RSUs, which have a clear cash value from day one. And on top of that, you get structured annual bonuses that can easily add another 10 to 30% to your base.
It's just a much safer, more stable way to build wealth over time.
You know, after staring at all these numbers, it's really easy to get tunnel vision and think that the total comp number is the only thing that matters. But when you talk to top PMs, you find out pretty quickly that other things are just as important for being happy in your career long term. So what is it that keeps a great PM at a company, even when a higher offer comes along? Product School's research says it boils down to 3 key things. First, the overall employee experience, work-life balance, a good culture. Second, doing meaningful work, solving problems that actually matter and seeing your impact. And finally, having clear opportunities to learn and grow. These are the things that build a career, not just a bank account.
So, we've broken down the salaries, we've walked the career ladder, and we've weighed the big trade-offs. The only question left is what's right for you. Are you chasing that high-risk, high-reward startup dream, or are you building for stability? Is a top salary in a major city your priority, or is it the freedom of remote work? Understanding all the pieces is the first step. Now you get to decide which puzzle you want to solve.